Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League, and today we want to be featuring the team Shadow Swampert with the Froslass and Gligar. Here we're going to be faced with the Azumarill. This Azumarill, it's kind of a neutral matchup depending on if they end up shielding the Earthquake or not. So we're going to go for the Earthquake here. We do tank the Ice Beam. They decide to shield the Earthquake. Okay, so we're just going to throw another Earthquake here as... we don't think they'll shield this one. Yep. So they're deciding to just shield once, and we're not going to allow them to farm us down, so we're going to switch into our Froslass. This Froslass here is going to be able to get to this Shadow Ball for a potential KO, or... Oh, they actually shield. So that gives us an indication that this Froslass is going to be good for their backline. We know we can tank one play rough right there. So we are able to get to a Shadow Ball right here. This Shadow Ball is going to do... I don't know, like 80%, 75% to that Medicham right there. We force out energy from that Medicham, and we're going to come in with our Gligar. This Gligar has a shield. We are met with a Altaria. This Altaria is going to be pretty tanky, but we are going to be able to get to this Aerial Ace first, and let's see if we can get to another Aerial Ace. We do get to the second Aerial Ace, so this is going to be able to do some good chip damage here. And it was CMP. It was a charge attack priority is what they're calling it. And we are going to be trying to be aware that they're trying to catch a move. We build up to 2 Aerial Aces. We throw the first one because we don't want to take that many bubbles anymore. So we go for another Aerial Ace, and this is just a matter of farming down, and we are able to farm it down barely. So GG's to our opponent right there. Next game. In a way, you can think of this as a ABV double anti-grass in the back. And then kind of like Froslass as being your safe switch. Here we have the Medicham. We're going to switch out and just see what they have in the bag. They end up having a Lickitung, so we're only going to be able to throw these avalanches at it. We need at least 2 avalanches. Here we got to decide if they're going to throw the Power Whip. We do decide to shield here, so we're going to be able to get to this avalanche here to potentially get a shield back, which is fine. We're going to try to race to another avalanche right here. They CMP or charge attack priority, and ends up being the body slam right there. So we are going to be able to get a shield or a wind switch. They decide to just double shield. And now we have a decision to make. We're going to come back in with our Swampert here. They don't allow us to get to the Hydro Cannon, but we are going to we're going to go over, farm up just a little bit. We go for this Hydro Cannon takeout, and we know that Gligar is pretty good against this Medicham. What do they have in the back? They end up having their Carbink, so this is fantastic for us. We have the powerful Dig move for this Carbink. We are going to need 2 of them. So this is going to be... We're going to let this go because we need a shield for that Medicham. And then we're going to go for this Dig here for the KO. Perfect. And then now we have to shield here because we know that they're close to a move. And then we're going to throw this Aerial Ace right here. 1 Aerial Ace did a good amount of damage. We're racing to the second one, and we are able to get to the second one for the KO right there. So Gligar breaking up that core in the back right there, and we are able to win this game. The Medicham Carbink core still pretty popular right now, and the Gligar was able to squeak out that win. So Medicham again, we're going to switch out. Let's see what they have in the back. They are staying in for a little bit, and they actually revealed that they have the Alolan Ninetales here. They try to catch a Shadow Ball, but they ended up shielding it. So that was an interesting play. Here we're going to be able to throw another Shadow Ball here. This Shadow Ball will be shielded as well. Interesting. So they're deciding to just double shield here because they probably don't want to see that Froslass in the back, but the Froslass was getting pretty low. So here we're just going to overfarm it just a little bit. We are able to tank this one. Our opponent ends up switching into their superior, so they were pretty weak to that Froslass in the back, but it looks like they did catch a move, and we did enough chip damage that I think this Aerial Ace here should be able to... Okay, well, we're going to overfarm, and let's see, we're going to let this Aerial Ace go. we have our own area ace. We were trying to undercharge here, try to get a little bit of wing attack energy, but unfortunately it was too much. So we're going to have a arrow ace already prepped for this Medicham. Here we're going to have to shield this, and we're going to make sure we throw this arrow ace to take out this Medicham. So this Medicham is gone, and now we got to somehow take out this Ninetales, but unfortunately they are able to get to their Weather Ball before us, and we are able to switch into our Swampert for the potential KO, and we are able to win that game right there. So GG's to our opponent right there. Shadow Swampert taking down the Shadow Ninetales barely by one fast move, basically. Alright, next game here. Who are we going to be facing? Shadow Swampert versus the Walrein. Okay, so this is all dependent on if we can get off of this Earthquake. They're going to immediately go for the Icicle Sphere, so we're going to let the first one go. We're going to charge up right before their next move. We go for the Earthquake. They do shield it, so we're going to immediately switch out. We think that this is the Earthquake, so we're going to shield here. That was a great shield, and they're still staying in, which is very interesting. So we're going to throw this Shadow Ball right here to do some big damage. Okay, they actually double shield. This is really strange. They decide to go for another Earthquake. We're going to keep farming until they barely get to their Earthquake. We're going to throw this Shadow Ball, takes out the Walrein. Oh, okay, so they are also very weak to this Froslass in the back. So we're going to go for this Avalanche as soon as possible, taking out that Trevenant easy. And here we have some energy left over. We are trying to get to that Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, we are not able to get to it. They are able to get to their Ice Punch first. But unfortunately for them, we have a counter to this Medicham. We have the Aerial Ace. Even though they have Ice Punch, they need at least 2 Ice Punches. And by the time they get to that, we already have another Aerial Ace for their Medicham. So GG's to our opponent right there. That was an interesting team. Walrein, Medicham, and Trevenant. They tried to bring back the Walrein and Trevenant core from like 2 seasons ago, but we were able to overcome that. It was all because of that Froslass. The Froslass ended up clutching it for us. So Mirror Swampert here. We're gonna just play this out. They end up switching. We're gonna go for this Earthquake here because we don't think that they'll shield. That's big damage right there. And we're gonna go into our Gligar here because we're trying to be a little bit more tanky. We were considering going for that Froslass, but we think that we can just win this with the Gligar. So that's perfect. We're going to go for the Arrow Ace that we have ready. They actually shield it. They're definitely going to throw a move before we get to a Arrow Ace here. So we're going to shield so that we can get to another Arrow Ace here. This is potentially going to get a shield or just chip damage. Okay, we get the chip damage. And our opponent ends up throwing the move right before we get to Arrow Ace. It does take out our Gligar. Now we have a choice to make. Do we go in with our Swampert or are we going with our Froslass here? We're expecting some kind of flyer, so that's why we're leaving the Froslass in the back, but we're not entirely sure what they have in the back at this point. They are staying in. Unfortunately, they do get to a move here, so it's a little bit unfortunate. If it was Shadow, it probably wouldn't have survived, but oh, it ends up being a Registeel. This is not the Pokemon we expected in the back. But they end up getting the Registeel in the correct Pokemon. So we are going to bait right here. We do get the shield. We're going to race to the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, we do not get to the Shadow Ball right here. We are barely going to lose this game right here. So GG's to our opponent right there. Check out this team if you haven't already. And let us know if you enjoyed the video.